When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
For getting your pod on. Thanks for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. Kevin, I got to tell you, that shirt, that Stone shirt, was a hit.
I got to crack mine out. I can finally bust mine out and wear it now too.
I wore that. You and I and the soldier went to Mulconry's for like a birthday drinks, plural.
Oh, it was supposed to be a drink.
I know, but I don't know how.
And then you guys ruined it right off the bat.
Yes, we did.
Because you guys got there and I was parked out front, so I walked in and you guys had already ordered, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, I want a mimosa, and then you guys are like, oh shit, we want that now too. So you guys double fisted.
We did. But then you mentioned that the wallflowers were down at Point of the Bluff, and I'm like, shit, I want to go see that. It's been a 90s summer for me. Spin Doctors, Blues Traveler.
Were they better than Blues Traveler, and were they better than Gin Blossoms?
They were better. I'm not a big Gin Blossoms guy. I love Blues Traveler, so maybe that's not fair. I like John Popper a lot.
I couldn't get into Blues Traveler at that show. They're trying to. I don't know. Maybe they're just a jam band and had a couple of hits.
They did do a bunch of jam stuff.
But that Devil Went Down to Georgia was the worst rendition of that song.
The best is that John Popper leaves the stage to go smoke a cigarette and then comes back on stage. I only know that because I've watched him do it at other shows, and I've been side stage. So I'm assuming he's still doing that because he left.
Why is he going off stage to do it? I mean, Eddie Van Halen used to light it up and put it in his freaking fret.
I think because now, or I don't know, or he's going to catch his breath. Maybe
I'd take a dump.
I have no idea. It's possible. Anything's possible. I don't know. But no, I thought they were great. But they, too, then got a little slow. Like, they played basically the one album everybody knows, right?
The three songs. Well, that was the problem with that show. And I said that to him because he wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I said, it's tough because you've got three bands that have a combined about 6 hits. And you're trying to fill 3 hours plus of music.
Right.
And people don't want to hear shit they don't know.
Well,
so you got to either mix in some good covers, which Spin Doctors did.
Yep, and I love the song "Shampipple." It's become like one of my favorites now. I found it on Spotify and I listen a lot. I don't know why. It just makes me happy.
You just love you some Fred Sanford.
Love Fred Sanford, and that's what was the inspiration behind that song. But
was that Spin Doctors or was that Jim?
He wrote it. Barron wrote it. But what you'll find,
so we got to get him on to talk about that.
Is Blues Traveler? It's like a side band for Popper that recorded it. So he's not in it, but Barron wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever. Not that it matters, but it was a huge hit. Everywhere I went, people were going, "Hey man, love the shirt! Happy birthday! Love the shirt!" It was kind of cool, and I was surprised because I brought a different shirt to wear. And then I showed up at Mulconry's and somebody goes, "That is the fucking ugliest shirt ever."
Yeah, but that was Audrey, and she doesn't count.
No, it wasn't Audrey.
It wasn't Audrey?
No. No, this was later.
Later
in the night.
I went back. Was it Damien? Did I get the response I was looking for?
No, but Damien called me and said, "What are you doing?" And there was no real set plans, so we decided to go there and see him. And
so it was Tony then.
Nope, Tony didn't say it either. No.
Wow.
I know.
I'm out of your friends at Mulconry.
No, they were good.
Either that or Greg.
They were very good. They were very good. This one we'll do slightly differently this episode because Kevin, Coach, what's Coach's name? How do I refer to Coach? Do I call you Coach? You're a hockey coach.
Call me whatever you want.
Asshole.
No, yeah. I'm not going to do that. What, do you want your name or first name?
Hey, whatever works for you. Whatever you're comfortable.
It's Norm from Freedom Roofing.
Okay.
Perfect.
So hopefully soon to be sponsor of the Billified podcast.
Norm from Freedom Roofing. All right. So here's how I kind of want to begin this, and I know we're a little all over the place, but Norm has experienced something that is very interesting in what I will say is the American economy right now.
Being friends with me? Like, unless some acquaintances with me. Let's not put the effort
we
out
keep
there.
ourselves at our arm's length here.
Right. And so Norm's got a roofing company, which is hard labor stuff. I mean, roofing
sucks.
Yeah, it blows.
Roofing's rough. I mean, that's rough. I mean, it's rough on your body.
Yeah.
It's rough up and down. You're carrying the stuff on your shoulders, and you got to move at a quick pace. I was telling these guys a while ago when I was like 15, I worked on a construction crew, and they would have me sometimes just do some cleanup some days instead of, these guys. A lot of the stuff was coming in prefab for condos.
Yep.
They put me on the roof to sweep the sawdust off before the guys came up and laid down the stuff, and they were afraid that they would slip on it too. So it was my job to sweep it off. I'm going, this is
the
like,
easy job.
huh?
You had the easy job.
That's the easy job, but this was like 1986, so no one's paying a fucking attention, right?
Sure.
And so I'm up there, and I get to the edge, and I'm like, oh,
And fair.
God, I'm a little nervous, right? And then I was telling them how, construction guys, I think it's a great way. I wish everybody could do 6 months on a construction crew. And the reason I say that is you guys have no bedside manner. And I think that's awesome. When someone tells you to do something, you fucking do it. There's either a right way. There's only one right way, really. I mean, some of these guys, but they have methods. They know what they're doing. So you can learn on the job, and you could become maybe a master carpenter if you paid attention and really worked on it. But when you get in there, you don't know a fucking one tool from the other a lot of times. And I think some of these guys, they're not going to go, all right, Joe, let me just sit down here. We're going to explain to you how. They're like, fucking watch me.
Yeah.
You do it this way.
Yeah.
Right? And I love that because it's just, and it's not meant with, I hate you. It's meant, we got fucking job to do and we got to get this done.
Yeah.
And you can't fuck it up.
And you can't fuck
If
it
they
up.
show you once, you can't fuck it up after that.
Right. And that's why I do like that. But what I was going to say is when we look at the world today and you experience something involving ICE, immigration enforcement,
Yep.
we want immigration laws enforced in this country right? Whether or not
Sure,
we
right.
agree with the certain way it's going about, we do. We want some kind of protection. We want affordable houses. That's the other thing.
That is true.
We want roofs replaced quickly.
Yes.
Right? We want cheap food and services, right? I mean, we don't want to be, and we want business to follow the rules, but what happens when all of those things collide? And that's where I really feel like you have experienced something many of us have not. You're running a roofing company. Your guys are on a roof. You're trying to finish the job. ICE shows up. What happens next?
Depending on if they are the American crew or the migrant crew, they're either staying or going. So it's kind of what we experienced the other day. They show up there. I don't know. They're not necessarily looking to vet the guys on the job site.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that I think we're all running into right now, and that's the general problem that we have as business owners, contractors, et cetera, is they're not vetting them on the property. They're basically taking them all off the job site, whether that roof is open, the siding's open, et cetera. They're pulling them all down to the detention center, and then they're going through the process. So, yes. So it isn't just one or two guys getting taken off, and then the guys who have their papers are staying. It's whether you have papers or not, you're going with them. They're sorting it out. They'll let you know who's getting out and who's not.
Have you heard from other contractors where ICE has come in and there's, you've got a tear off and you've got plywood that needs to go in and there's 5 or 6 holes on a roof where plywood's got to go.
Oh, yeah.
And the crew's gone.
Roof's wide open. Yeah. So, I mean, I won't mention companies, obviously, but there's a couple that have been all over Facebook, et cetera, that they've even busted into the house. So ICE has actually gone in. There was one company in particular. The homeowner posted it on Facebook. ICE raided the home, drew guns.
To make sure he wasn't hiding them inside?
Well, they did. They went inside. That's the problem. They came down off the roof. They went inside. They busted in the house. The homeowner was told by the sales guy that, hey, we have all W-9 employees. These guys are all here. Yeah, so, the whole shenanigans. And
they may have been. The way you're saying it, they may have been.
Yeah, I don't
right?
I don't know.
Because they don't sort it out. there. They're
Yeah.
sorting it out at the detention center. So the guy could have been correct. I mean, I'm just going by what was said. That's
right.
all.
Yeah. And it's
It's hard
to say.
Yeah, you would think there might be a better way to possibly go, but right or no? Look, I'm not at ICE. I don't know what that's like. I have no idea what that's fucking like to do that job. At the same time, I always try to look at things as a more global than just from the perspective of, well, they're fucking assholes. Well, hold on.
What are they dealing with?
What are they dealing with? I don't know. So where were you when you found out that this was happening with one of your I don't want to say, I guess, your crew or one of your clients at one of your clients' houses?
Luckily not at the job site, but so I was picking a couple things up to bring down there. We were doing a siding job, and I got a message from someone at the site saying, "Hey, immigration took my sister and my brother away." And I'm like, "Okay, what's going on? Where?" And they said, "Here at the job site." I'm like, at the house? They're like, "Yeah, they took them all." And then within, I would say, half hour, 45 minutes, I got a message from the dumpster guy that we use. Great company. He sent me a thing, and he goes, "Hey, dude, code red." I was grabbing some supplies. He's like, "You got to call me immediately." So I called him, and he's like, "Hey, were you aware of what's going on over here? I just got a photo sent to me." And I wasn't aware of the extent until I got down there, but everybody had been removed. I know for a fact that there were a couple guys on site that have been here for over 20 plus years. It was to our understanding that everybody was vetted and was able to be here legally.
Is it a situation where I'm on this crew, I'm working with this crew, I'm obviously an American gentleman. Are they taking me too? Are they questioning me, or I just go back to work?
So, what do they say to them, the supervisor or somebody who's on the site? Let's say the foreman that's on the site.
We haven't been in this position. This is the first time we've been in this position. So This is all, you hear horror stories, right? You hear the stories about everyone that's, ICE is showing up. The supervisor's there. He's trying to show the paperwork. He's trying to get everyone to, they're trying to de-escalate the situation. I don't know how that pans out. This is the first time we've ever ran into this in the, 2 years it's been happening. So we're fortunate in that aspect. But this was, this was in the middle of nowhere. This wasn't, in the heart, of the city or anything. This was out a ways. So
do you have to plan kind of your crews as to where they're going for this kind of a situation?
To some extent. I mean, I know that,
you're not going to put your crew in Brockport right now in apple picking season because ICE is going to be out there with the farms.
Holly's a tough one. Yeah. Some of those areas, of course. The city of Rochester is obviously a tough one. And I'm sure people in the city of Rochester are hearing the same thing from contractors. There's a lot of contractors that when they get the jobs in those areas, unfortunately, we don't know when we're getting here, and kind of here's the situation. So the bad news is it's happening. The good news, it's not really good, but it's at least awareness that because it's happening so frequently and it's happening to everybody, that it's become a common thing, right? Like everyone is aware that this is taking place now, and whether these migrant workers, whether their visas are good, bad, whatever the case may be, they are, like we talked about with physical labor being tough, they are the only ones right now doing the job.
Yeah.
They are the ones that are willing to get up there and do it. I mean, they're walking up 12-12 pitches. For those who don't know what a 12-12 pitch is, it's straight up and down with 3 bundles on their shoulders, and they don't complain.
Are other companies helping in situations where you lose a crew? Like, does Joe's roofing company call you and be like, "Hey, see your post, do you need something?" Are you guys helping each other out, like community-wise?
So us close friends, yes. But it's funny you mentioned that because we just found out that the call actually came from another contractor in that area.
So another contractor calls up and says, "I think there's a legal crew." Mm-hmm. Now, I want to clarify something for anybody, because this is a subcontracted crew for you because there's so much work. Your crew is out doing something, right? Yep. Trying to get everybody done before winter and please the clients and to keep the cost, right?
We call them captured employees, Bill. So yes,
that's what it actually technically is.
So I just to clarify, it's a little bit different than, if you walk into Lowe's or Home Depot and you're getting your countertops done, we call it fishbowl subcontracting, right? They're digging through they're going through the first contractor to bid on that job who they think is going to be able to get out there the quickest, the most efficient, whoever fits that job, right? That criteria. This is a little bit different. Like, these guys have worked with us for years now.
Yeah.
Like, this is not just someone we picked up off the street that we're saying, hey, we really need this job
there
done.
used to be, you would go down to Florida or even California and parts of Texas. There would be migrants who would just stand in the Home Depot lot and be there, and somebody would come in and they'd jump in a truck, not knowing where they were really going, and off for the day, and then brought back at the end of the day.
It's kind of how it's been here actually for years. They find a lot of people at Lowe's, Home Depot, but it's funny you say that. I was just down in Florida actually, and the amount of migrant workers that are building that. I mean, obviously Florida is huge, right? Like the population's growing. There's people moving down there. There's development being done. The amount of buildings that are being built. We were down by Cortez. We went to Anna Maria Island. So there's fields that are being cleared out right now and housing developments that are being built. And it's not us. It's not you and I. It's not the American workers that are up there doing it. It's the migrant workers.
Right.
It just is what it is.
So
is it worse in like a red state versus a blue state? Like, are they coming at blue states for migrants more than they are like a red? And not to make it political.
Yeah, right. It's hard to say because I got a buddy who went down to Alabama years ago, and he's got a roofing company down there, and I know that there were, they've had their fair share of issues, but I think it's to the extent of what it is here. I'm not entirely sure. I will say this. I could tell you in Western New York, Buffalo is hands down the worst. We got guys that wouldn't even consider going out to Buffalo. And from what I understand, companies in Rochester that do work in Buffalo are way backed up right now because no one's willing to go out there because of how bad immigration is. Rochester, I think, trails right behind Buffalo, and Syracuse seems to be, hopefully I'm not blowing Syracuse in right now, but seems to be fairly mild in that aspect.
Was it the border being right there?
It's possible. It's possible. I don't know if it has anything to do with, again, you don't want to get political, right? But I don't know if it has anything to do with politics, but that's just kind of what we're hearing. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Well, I know that like federal law requires these guys in order to work to verify identity, right? And employment authorization, and they have to complete like an I-9 form, I think, to be an employee.
Yeah.
But when you're hiring a company that you've hired for 30 years or whatever, or however many years, I don't want to put a number out there that may not be true, but if somebody hands you documents, right, then you're just going to trust that they're doing their part.
In New York State, we have to. There's the no discrimination. So, when you get a guy that comes to you and he has his insurances, he has his comp, you talk to his agent, everything like that, and everything checks out. You don't really question it, right? For years, we haven't, up until the last year or two when this has kind of, been blown out of proportion the way it's been. So, they come to us. They have a Social Security. They have insurances. They have the workers' comp. They have everything that protects them legally to be on that job site. And, that's what we're going off of. Now, can they pull other people in to help them out and kind of get that job done, like you said, so it's not taking 2 weeks like it used to 30 years ago? Yeah, I guess they can. Unfortunately, that's just, it's no different than any other business, right?
Yeah. I feel like there's so many things happening in this one or under this one umbrella, let's put it that way. Yeah. Because ICE is coming in and you're taking everybody who is part of, who doesn't, I almost want to say doesn't look American born.
It's probably why they got called the other day. If I had to assume.
What?
It's probably why they got called on the other day.
I'm just saying,
it's just
like,
reality,
right? And so, whether or not they have the paperwork, we'll never know until who comes back to work, and who doesn't come back to work. And how about these fucking guys? You want to be like, what a hassle for even them, right? Because they're losing. You're not paying them if they're not working. Or not, or that company isn't going to pay him. Yeah. Most of these guys are hourly employees.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're trying to, what are you going to do? Pay them overtime then to try to get the job done? But then that's really ICE's fault. So where's the the thing because they just picked up everybody, hoping to get somebody, and maybe out of the 12 guys, or I don't know how many. What's on a? What do you got? Like 6, 7 guys on a crew?
So for years it's been you could get a crew in of 10, 12 members, and you could have that thing banged out in one
no
day.
time.
I've seen the Google reviews. I mean, there's people that are like, "Hey, our roof was done in 6 hours. It was amazing.
Yes,
clean up, done. It was
clean up. Like these guys, there's nothing. There's no roofing nail somewhere, little pieces of tar paper or a shingle that blew off. Nothing.
Yard looked better when we left or when they left than it did when they arrived.
Okay,
I mean, you hear it all the time, right?
Yes,
and just for years. So now what we're seeing is these crews are coming in with 4 to 5 guys. So the days of it being done in 6, and for the record, I'm not a fan of it, being rushed and being done in, a half a day.
No, we're not looking to do shoddy work.
We're not cutting corners, right? But when you have 12 guys on a roof, I mean, you said it before, you've done construction. I mean, how many guys were there? I mean, for us back in the day when I would help out, there wasn't 12 people.
No, there wasn't. It was usually 6.
It was 4.
Yeah, right. Half or less. Yeah. So, I mean, and we like longer lunch breaks. I mean, we did back then.
Yeah.
I was milking the clock for it. I mean,
I used to love to go I'd love to go pick up the order. It
was the best time of the day.
Yeah. This is awesome.
Get the hell out of there. Yeah. So these guys, though, you give them, you try to get them to take more than a break, even on a super hot day, where they're risking, additional heat exposure and dehydration, stuff like that. They really don't take the breaks. I mean, they do
Tyler
work
said.
their ass off.
He said they never stopped moving, but
never.
They took an hour for lunch, and he was like, I was shocked they took an hour for lunch.
Yeah.
But they didn't stop moving the entire time they were working.
Well, let me give you, just for people who are listening to this, because I think I'm just trying to give this an overview, right? I'm not making this political. I'm not saying ICE is bad or not. I think there's an effect to the economy. Maybe there would be a better way if they could actually verify on the job site, and we lose 20 or 30 minutes of work versus a day. And I mean, it sounds like the day's over when ICE shows up, depending on the crew.
The day's over.
Yeah.
The day's over. The only way the day's not over is if it's a roof. On our particular job, it was a siding job, and it was all foamed in. So, there's no risk for damage if it rains.
Right.
You got a roof wide open, it's a different ballgame.
100%.
That day ain't over till that thing is cried in.
Yeah.
So, and then the homeowner's stressed out.
Sure.
You're stressed out. I can't even imagine what those guys are feeling, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them have wives, children, et cetera, that are citizens, and they're here.
Yes.
So
right.
It's a sticky situation, but like you said, we're all on the same page too, especially in the construction field, the contracting field. We're about as patriotic as it gets.
Sure.
Pro USA, pro America, 100%. We want our citizens, our families to be safe. With that being said, I got to tell you, there is not a group of 18, 19, 20, 21, whatever, young kids coming in, lining up to say, hey, hire me to do roofing work.
Right.
It's not happening.
Right.
It's not happening. If you're waiting for it, your roof will never get done.
Well, I was reading something. According to a 2026 National Association of Home Builders analysis, immigrants represented about 26% of the overall construction workforce and 1/3 of construction trades, which is fairly significant.
Yeah.
But here's a number that really stands out. 53% of American roofers are foreign born. So over half of the people doing roofs in this country are foreign born. In New York, foreign born workers account for about 37% of the construction workforce. So, I mean, if tomorrow every immigrant worker disappeared from roofing, what happens?
So, I think I'd be curious. I have not heard that stat. That's interesting. And I wonder how much of that.
It's a big stat.
It is a big stat. And that's actually a lot larger percentage than I would have thought. I just wonder how much of that comes from, you say foreign born, what the Amish do, right? Because the Amish they do a lot of work.
They do a ton of work.
Pole barns, et cetera.
Sure.
They're predominantly doing pole barns, metal roofs, carpentry, stuff like that. Great workers, super hard. Like, they do awesome stuff. We get our metal through them. Awesome people. Love them. The particular place that we get our metal from does not do roof installs.
Okay.
Specifically asphalt. Siding is a big one too. Windows, stuff like that. you won't see a lot of them lining up to do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So, siding's a big one. We don't do a whole lot of siding. Our name is obviously Freedom Roofing and Windows. We will take on siding jobs. I enjoy doing it. I think people get excited about it. I love the way the house looks before and after. It's awesome. Great transformation. Everyone's happy after. But you just don't have, like I said, you don't have the young kids, specifically, I hate to say it, but Americans, you don't have them lining up to do that line of work.
Right.
It's predominantly migrants.
Yeah, it is.
My buddy has his own company, and he was doing roofing and siding, and he just gave up roofing. He says it sucks. It doesn't pay. Siding pays a lot better.
Siding does pay better.
And he goes, it's just ultimately safer.
The siding is.
Yeah, because you're not walking. I mean, not many new houses are pitched at 6s and 8s anymore.
Right.
Most of them have 12s and 14s, which are dangerous as shit.
Dangerous shit. And you know what? With siding, I mean, figure you're picking up siding panels. They feel like feathers in comparison to bundles of shingles. Those are
and a
very heavy. Yeah.
Bundles of shingles are
it sucks. It's a hell of a work.
They're what, 70? They're about 75 pounds a piece, right?
Yeah. So in figure, they're thinner now.
I've carried them up and down ladders. It sucks.
It does.
They're thinner now than they ever used to be. That's the crazy part too.
Yeah.
People can bitch and complain about it now. They're like, "Wow, this is heavy." I'm like, "Hey, you have no idea. 20 years ago, it was double the weight. They were a little bit heavier, thicker back then.
Asbestos in there back in the
right?
day.
Yeah. God knows what.
I don't know. Why aren't American-born guys lining up for this work? You think?
I have my own theories on it. I really do.
I mean, we'll call it a hypothesis, right? Or it's sort of an opinion, but you're in the field.
So I think the same reason why you're going to see this industry drastically change in the next 10 years. Coach Pippard. So he's in the AI industry. And
AI?
Yeah. Which obviously is taking over everything right now. Don't matter what industry you're in. You think you're safe in construction. Well, we're now finding out that they have robots and machines that they've been coming out with. You see the little AI videos on Facebook that have the machine up on the, have you seen that yet?
No, but they're up on the roof.
It's nailing down shingles. Yeah, it's quite intriguing.
Is it quick though? Is it fast?
So that we're not
accurate.
Well, that's the other thing. I would imagine it's fairly precise. Can it wrap metal around chimneys? Can it tear off? Can it put on drip edge and lay everything down, ridge vent? All the stuff that goes with the roof components, ventilation, etc. That I'm not sure of. If I had to imagine, with the way that things are rapidly excelling right now, I'd imagine that within a decade it probably will. And from what I'm hearing from guys that are in the robotics industry, is they're like, "Dad, don't worry. Your shit's all going to be different in the next 5 to 10 years anyway," which is kind of scary to think about.
Yeah.
Start saving your money now.
Yeah. So I personally, I think it has to do with, we talk about AI, we talk about technology, screens, YouTube. You got influencers, you got people on YouTube, you got all these, God, they're like celebrities now, right? Online on YouTube, making videos. These young kids are watching them. I got a 12-year-old and we all have kids. They're watching these kids and they're seeing how much money they're making. They're like, well, why would I go bust my ass for 25, 30, 35, 40, whatever they're paying, X amount of dollars per hour, X amount per year, when I could make videos, when I could post stuff online, when I could be a YouTube creator, a YouTube, whatever, an influencer,
right?
And I could triple my money.
And the tough part is getting a 12-year-old to realize that you're going to make more money roofing and siding than you are probably going to be making videos for YouTube.
Because the YouTube video thing is almost as saturated as it is now,
right?
To pop out. You know what would pop out? Somebody making roofing videos and how to get into the trade and what's the best way to do it and how to preserve your body. And that would be one. I mean, shit, you should do it. You probably make a nice little side hustle income. You've been doing it a long time.
I can't talk about preserving the body because I got some torn ligaments here. So,
that's what I mean. But you can go, man, dude, I wish I
Here's
was,
what not to do.
Yeah, I wish I stretched before I went up on the road. I don't know.
Just like those guys that I for some reason, I get enthralled with watching these guys doing those lawn mowing jobs.
Yeah.
The lawn's like,
and they do it for free.
And they do it for free and they're cleaning everything up.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Satisfying.
Yeah.
Fucking satisfying, right? It really is. I think there's an aspect of the population, right? The court of popular opinion that would say Americans are unwilling to do this kind of work. It's hard labor. It's not easy stuff.
Yeah.
And these jobs, you got to really, You got to sort of love it in a sense, or understand the payoff of it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think in terms of roofing, let's call a spade here. I think that a lot of these guys, these roofers, especially the Americans that are left nowadays, and I love my guys to death, but, when you're in your 40s and you're still roofing, back when we were doing it, it was because we had no other option, right? We were, and a lot of these guys, I mean, this is no secret. Everyone knows by now. A lot of these guys had issues, drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
There's a reason why they didn't start their own business or get into sales or something that was, you hear the saying, work smarter, not harder.
Where they can get jobs.
Right, exactly. So they're in their mind like, hey, me taking this, salary, this hourly pay, this, pay by square, whatever it may be nowadays, whatever the contractor's paying, to them, it was a good paying job, and we do pay them well. Yeah. And I can tell you right now, with the demand increasing, this is what a lot of homeowners out there don't understand. But as these guys get sent back, what happens to the demand for the contractors? Our demand gets higher because we need more guys. There's less of them, right? So the jobs don't slow down.
Right.
The labor does.
Yeah.
So,
and we're in a part of the country where roofs are really important for winter, and we're not necessarily building as many new homes because there's so many existing homes that are perfectly functional, right? Or renovatable in some way.
Yeah.
And so these roofs need to be replaced. And what are you replacing roofs now at? Almost 12, 15 years? It used to be like they would go 30 years. And I didn't even think that was like, what are you talking about?
Average lifespan of a roof in New York State with the weather that we have is 22 years.
22.
So,
okay.
So
average.
They all, if you're certified with the contractor and you do everything the way you're supposed to, you ventilate the roof, et cetera, they all have, a lot of them come with 50-year lifetime warranties now.
Okay.
I'm here to tell you flat out,
don't.
Nothing's lasting 50 years.
Yeah, but most of the homeowners aren't, though. So you know what I mean?
Correct.
That's where
what about
true.
What about with the metal roofing? Is that giving you extended life at all?
Yeah. So the metal roofing is very unique because there's no gray area, right? So it's a love or hate. Like we get calls that are like, "Hey, we're dying in this house. We're passing it along to the grandchildren or children, grandchildren, whatever. It's staying in the family, and we want a permanent fix that we're not going to have to worry about this for the next 30, 40, 50 years. Well, if we're going over 30 years, we're talking metal. But you got to love the look too, right? It's a different look. Now, they have stone-coated shingles out there, but that's a different ballgame. That's a whole different topic. Those things, that's more of a marketing gimmick. But actual metal roofs that look like they belong on a commercial building, a barn, et cetera, those come with some maintenance, depending on which one you put on, and they come with a price tag too. Can homeowners nowadays, especially in this economy, right? Like nothing's cheap, nothing's going down. Can they afford to spend 3 times the amount to put something on that's going to last them down the road? Like you said, most people aren't lasting another 50 years either. Well, so life's unpredictable.
I don't mean that to be
sure, I know
rude. I'm just saying, like,
reality.
Guarantee a 50-year thing.
Yeah.
It may be a retiree who's putting the roof on.
Yeah.
And because now they have the expendable income, but they probably won't. I'll say this. Maybe they'll be on the planet, but they probably won't be in that house.
Sure.
Fair enough. I mean?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So I always wonder if there's almost like a catch. Does it go with the house, the warranty? Does it go like they can transfer? Okay. So, I mean, I'm not so
and as soon as
sure.
you got a homeowner that keeps their paperwork and all that stuff alongside with the
Well, I mean, it would be a sales incentive. I mean, it would be something to go, well, this is a roof I don't have to worry about for a little while, right? If I'm buying a house that's a little bit older, hey, the roof was replaced 10 years ago, and you got another 40 years on the warranty. Yeah,
your safest bet is always, like I said, if I go into a house and a homeowner is talking about dying there and passing it along, et cetera, they want something good for resale. They want something permanent. We're talking metal.
Yeah.
Shingles do come with a transferable warranty. That is true.
Okay.
But if you ever read the manufacturing or not the defects, but if you ever read in a manufacturing warranty what is not covered, it's you name it.
Yeah.
It's like footprints on your roof, right? Yeah. So like whose footprints? Is it yours or is it the squirrel? Like, I don't know. It doesn't specify, right? Cracked mortar in the chimney. How many people are checking chimneys up there?
They're not.
Yeah, no, they're not. So
and they need to.
They do need to. Is your roof voided as soon as those guys get off? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
that's a whole other topic.
It's not the shingle company that's taking that call either. That's you.
We get the first call. That's for sure. Yeah.
I mean, as we're talking about this, what I keep going back to is kind of what happens if immigration enforcement works exactly as intended. But I'm not sure that they are working exactly as intended when you're just taking everybody off the crew, whether they're have the paperwork, don't have the paperwork, are a citizen or not. We don't find that out till later.
Yeah.
And I think it's starting to cause significant delays. When I knew you were coming on, I was looking at some stuff, and I think there was a new rec center that they were building, like a $20 million rec center in Alabama. Crews got picked up, right? Because, again, the only people who are kind of willing to do this work or are going to do a quality job at a really quick rate that may be cheaper, all right, and help us come under cost a little bit, were taken. So now the project is looking at delay fines because the crew's gone. I can't find anybody really to replace it. So, I mean, the other thing is, like, everybody says enforce the law. Well, we enforce the law, and now your $18,000 roof has become a $25,000 roof because we're booked until next June. Does it still feel the same? Oh, and we're booked till next June is my point, right? And this is what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
And that's that is a part of the economic piece that as citizens we go, I don't care how it gets done, just as long as it gets done.
Right.
All right.
Well, that's a good point, Bill. There's a lot of obstacles in this. It's more than just the crews are getting taken, et cetera. It's, when the crews get taken and there's less left, those guys that are left, they're not stupid. They understand what's going on. They want more money too, right?
Sure.
So your labor goes up.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that, you've gone to the grocery store, you've gone to the gas station, you've gone to buy furniture. Everything else is going up too. Materials have gone up more this year than I've seen in a very long time.
I believe that.
We've had some significant price increases.
Yeah.
So you got materials, you got labor, and then, like you said, now you got delays.
Fuck, right? You got gas to get the guys out there.
You got gas, you got diesel, you got,
those are things people aren't even.
You got insurances, you got comp,
tariffs coming in on the supplies.
Yeah.
Depending on where they're coming from, that's true too. And then you've got, the comp in this stuff is like you have to have it.
And it goes up every year. I mean, it goes up every year.
Right.
It's insane. So I don't agree with it, but it's reality. I did want to touch. I did want to circle back and touch base on one thing you said, though.
Yes.
In terms of, and this is a common misconception in the industry, is that when the migrants come in, our own people get shafted. The American workers don't get. Not that you said they get shafted, but we pay them. We pay those guys a little bit less than we do these guys. That's how it was for years.
Yeah.
Right. Like these guys came in, they were undercutting labor.
Yeah.
And I think that's what sparked the whole outrage. I can tell you very firmly right now, there are Ecuadorian crews that are very, very good at what they do, and they can do metal roofing, they can do siding that we actually pay more to than we do
some of the crew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because of how skilled they are and because of how efficient they can do it.
Is it a cost saving measure in that then because they're subcontracted, you're not paying for the comp insurance or something else?
Yep.
So is it almost like a break even?
I would almost say no, because the cost for comp is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And there's plenty, there are.
And it's not like they're not getting it. They're getting it through the company they work for. You're just.
Yeah. And I don't want to say that there are no white crews out there. There's no American crews out there. I hate to say white versus whatever, but it feels weird, but it's the reality. It's just, those come with their own issues in terms of cleanup, et cetera. It's a whole other topic that I could go on a tangent with, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of American crews out there that are willing to work for multiple companies that are still subs too, right?
Yes.
Like those guys are still, they carry their own stuff.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, after seeing some of the work they do, and I have buddies in the industry that have used them, I got to tell you, they're not worth what some of the Ecuadorians are worth. They're just not. In terms of efficient, there's two main things that you get bad reviews with in roofing. The first two things. Number one, damage. So when I tear off your roof and I wreck your bushes, I wreck your Japanese maple, man, that's a big one. People love that. I've learned that the hard way. I ruin your screens. I scratch your siding. I ding something. Dude, you're pissed, right? Right off the rip before we even do anything else. There's bad review number one. The second time you get a bad review is when the job is done and you're leaving and shit's not cleaned up. There's nails everywhere. Oh, the guys didn't get this. They didn't get that. We found this here. That the dog stepped in something. There's wrappers all over. Blah blah blah, etc. So tear off and clean up. Those are the two biggest things. So those. No matter who does your roof build, no matter who does it, whether they're Ecuadorian, white, whatever, whether it's me and you up there, it's probably all going to look the same when it's done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those two things, they do very well.
Yeah.
That allow us to get good reviews.
Right. Because there's a lot of times with people when you're having a roof done, you don't want to go out your front door.
No.
Because shit's just being thrown off.
No.
Right? I mean, at least in the past. I don't know about.
No, it's still the same.
Today. And these guys are working at a quick pace and they're in a uncomfortable thing. I mean, I remember roofers that would quit in the winter because the sunlight would be at like 3:00 in the afternoon. It would just hit them in such a way and then the sun would go down. So it was like the day ended at 3:00. They were drunk by 4.
Yeah,
only because only because of the nature of the job.
Yeah,
and so especially in those months, your work time is limited.
Yeah,
because you're really. Maybe now you can come with some more floodlights or battery-powered things than there was in the past. Maybe you can start work a little earlier, but still, you got to see what you're fucking doing.
It's tough, and it's never good to roof in the winter either.
No,
by the way.
It's not. It's not because shit freezes and water gets trapped under there.
The stuff doesn't seal well. It's wavy. It's not a good gig.
I guess the thing that I always wonder in some way, and I'm not sure if this is even a fair question to just put out there, but I always wonder who actually benefits by keeping our immigration dysfunctional. You know what I mean?
Good question.
Well, I only say that because the workers can be vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
And their status makes it harder. Some of them, it makes it harder to complain. They're not going to say anything because they know what they want. They're just trying to, whatever, let's say go back, as you said, to whenever. And they were sort of undercutting, but they were doing a great job.
Yeah.
So you would pay, but that money went a lot further because it was probably going back home, or it was going to whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's got to be good for you though too that they're not bitching about every little thing that your company or what their company's doing because all you got to say is keep bitching. I'll call ICE.
Right.
we do have that leverage now. That is nice.
But the thing that's weird is like consumers, they want lower prices, and politicians need something that they can run on forever. So if this system's dysfunctional, I'm going, it seems like there's a little bit of a benefit. I'm not saying for necessarily for your business, but it is for almost the political side of things because we can go, hey, we're going to protect you from all this stuff. But what's not being said is the prices go up, the work isn't as good, the cost is harder, and we don't have enough people to do it, willing to do it. Let's put it that way.
I think that's the moral of the story, right? It's like consumer. You see a lot of people on Facebook. I don't know how much you guys get into it. I try to stay off social media. We actually have a guy now that runs.
Why would you do that?
That's a good question.
You don't like going in there at all?
I like beating up my mental health and
scrolling
through.
Oh, wow. Okay, now you're talking my language. I hear you.
I'm not into it.
It is. It's a fucking mental.
It's a freaking diary.
I think it's one of the worst things that's ever happened. I think it's
terrible.
I think some of the two, and I can't say that because there are, like, you could argue that there are benefits to social media in that it's a way to communicate, right? You keep in contact with people you haven't seen, or even if it's almost like you get to be sort of a voyeur into a buddy's life from you went to high school with, and you see him and his wife and his kids, and now he's fat and bald, and you're like, look at that fat fuck, right? He was the star quarterback, whatever. Yeah. But there's that benefit, and then on the other side, it's like everybody. The algorithm makes everybody feel like whatever they're saying is not an opinion, it's correct. And so now we've got people who are planting flags and pissing people off, and so you get families that are fighting with each other.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of that stuff. And I go, boy, that's one of the bad parts of it. The other thing that I think, and I never know what to think of it, is especially for like young, I keep thinking of like young men. For whatever reason, I've been on that sounds very strange, and I don't mean it this way. But I've been thinking about, honestly, like the mental health of young men.
Yeah.
You've got bullying that cannot it doesn't end when you close your door like it used to when we were kids.
Right.
And you also have the proliferation of porn. So now you're watching shit, and your first
There's
date.
never going to be another great shingler because we got porn.
Well, I always say there's never going to be another great guitarist because they sit in the room figuring it out, but now they're sitting in a room just jerking off. But my point also is, like, you go on there and you think every chick wants to be choked, slapped, hair pulled, and spit on, and you find out that that's not true. And what is consent? And we don't know. And you're watching kids get themselves in situations that you go, holy shit. I don't know. The whole thing is like fucked up. So that's a separate thing from what we're talking about. But I hear you for not wanting to go on there.
You're also seeing, I talked to my own family about this. So talk about coaching earlier. It's a good thing to relate to those kids as well. You're seeing somebody's highlight reel every day.
Yeah.
No one's posting their struggles on there.
No,
you are seeing the best of the best, and half these influencers.
And by the way, the people who do post their struggles, we laugh at. We don't want to hear from.
Yeah, you make fun. Yeah, they look like jackasses, right? Yeah. And then it looks, and then
the
like I said,
bookers.
Yeah, you get, it's like, dude, if you need to write a diary on here, you got to go to a therapist. But
right,
again, I try to stay off there, but I do. Going back to what we were talking about, I do get sucked in sometimes when I see people on there. You see, you got a video of a bunch of migration workers running off a job site getting chased down by ICE because someone called, and that condo, that complex, that apartment, that whatever the hell they're building there, that building, that sits vacant now. Yeah. That sits vacant. Right.
Looks like the Hyatt downtown in the 80s.
Well, right.
Looks like some buildings in the city of Rochester right now, unfortunately. But this stuff sits there, and it costs more money every single day.
Right.
And then that guy who brought him on, everyone's like, oh, arrest that guy, arrest that guy. What they don't understand, because they're sitting behind a computer screen, and God knows what they even do for work, is that dude's got no other help, right? That guy has brought these guys in, whether, he's paying someone on that job who has their insurances, who has their comp, who's legal, who's registered to be there. Who they bring in is who they bring in to help get it done, but they're trying to get it done in a timely fashion, and they're trying to do it in a way where everyone can benefit in a money sense, and we could get this thing up for people to live in, make money in, whatever the case may be. So when that kind of stuff happens, what these people don't realize that are like, get them out of here and bring Americans in. Well, there's no line of Americans coming in after that. So that place sits there. It costs more money every day. That guy now has no other means to get it. People are losing money here. And it's costing taxpayer dollars. Prices are going to go up no matter what. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because now the demand gets higher and there's less people to help do it. It's not a good situation for everybody. So what is the long-term, I guess, residual effect of this is if you're looking to do your roof siding, windows, anything that, you're building, whatever the case may be, and you're looking to do this down the road, and you're looking to do it as cost effective as possible because the economy absolutely is, it's tough right there. It's tough right now. I mean, people are struggling. You're going to be paying more. You're paying more. So every time that you wish for that, just understand that there's not someone else coming in doing it for cheaper. There isn't that hardworking 18-year-old kid that just got his boots and straps on that's ready to go. You're about to pay double for what it just was.
Well, Freedom Roofing, call tomorrow.
Amen.
The part that I also think that somebody may be listening, well, that's fine. You got to play by the rules. So these guys are coming in and they're not playing by the rules. Well, we don't know that because ICE is picking them up, and there could be many who are playing by the rules as they are now, right? They have the I-9, they have the work stuff. They may not speak English very well, but hey, I think if we went back a few generations for many people, there was someone who came here who didn't speak English very well. Yeah. So I'm not trying to defend anything. I'm just trying to give more of a global look at this. That doesn't mean everybody isn't. There are people who are coming here legitimately who want to work hard and make a better life. And that was always the American dream.
Amen. Yeah,
I mean, it really was, right? The fact that you can own a business and start, and do all that stuff. So, I mean, that's the thing. And I go, man, your roofer disappearing halfway through the job used to mean he went to Home Depot and Subway. Now, it's like, oh, shit, there was an ICE raid.
Or to the bar.
Yeah, or to the bar.
How many times have you gotten drunk and threatened to call ICE on Damien?
Never once. Never once. But, I mean, when you think about this, too, like mass deportation, does it work? I don't know.
You'd love to think it does, right? But at the same time, and it's what we talk about, and I'm speaking on behalf, I can, again, I don't name names, but I got a lot of buddies in the industry. I speak on behalf of myself and all of them because we talk about it all the time, is our biggest issue with this is not that they're just sending everybody back. It's not that they're doing their jobs and they're keeping America safe. That's what we all want.
Yes.
Right? We're all on board with that.
Yep.
We don't want gangs and drugs and everything flooding through our borders. It's not good. It's terrible. It'll ruin the economy. With that being said, the guy who's on my job putting the siding on, I had one guy in particular, he just actually got out, and I can elaborate on that more, which is a whole nother story, but he just got out. Hardest working guy I've ever seen. He Ubered to a job when his truck broke down. He said he's like, boss, I'll walk there if I have to. And I'm like, wow, this dude, yeah, he's determined, man. You got a guy like him on a job, no criminal record, kid here, wife here, family here, been here a while, came on a visa, whether or not it was expired, something happened, not sure, held for a month, randomly let out. Okay, you're telling me that guy is more of a threat to you and your family than the dude at the gas station with the machete who just assaulted someone, who just got let out 3 days later and is back on the streets? I think that's our biggest problem. And again, it's not to get political. It's just we have American citizens here that are born here, raised here, whatever, whether or not they contribute or whatever. Yeah, that are more dangerous. And they're out on the streets.
The guys throwing shingles aren't in gangs and selling drugs.
No, they're not. They're there to work.
Using a little bit. I've met some roofers that might be using a little bit, but they're not selling.
They're not.
The
Americans, maybe.
The Americans.
That's right. Yeah. As I listen to all this, I think like maybe the question isn't whether America needs immigrants or whether immigration laws should be enforced. It's we can need immigrant labor and expect people to follow the law, which is what I think most people listening would probably say. But the part that's making this very difficult is we aren't sure, because we're getting the paper. You're getting the paperwork that says they're legal. Mm-hmm. They may have the paperwork that says they're legal. Who's walking around? I don't know. Do they keep that paperwork on them at all times? So if they get round up, they can prove it and get out. But even that is, you lost at least a day, and it's not like they're checking on the site, which would almost seem like a fairer way to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think two things can be true here, Bill. I think it boils down to this. There's no real black or right. Like, so I think a lot of this goes back to like media outlets, social media. Like we were just talking about how bad social media is. I think because everyone has an opinion. I think you either see people that are like, round them up, send them all back. Let's get, labor back in the hands of Americans, and let's feed our own people. And then you have other people that are just like, no, let them in at will. They're here to have a better life for themselves. I think you can believe that we need to protect our borders and protect our people, and that immigrants are good for the economy at the same time. I think both things can be true, right, in retrospect.
I mean,
it's the same thing. You've got 18-year-old kids that aren't going to go out to the farm and pick apples.
No, they're not.
They're not going to go down in Florida and pick oranges.
Right.
They don't want to do it.
Right.
And for the record, we've talked to farmers too. I actually picked up an equipter from a farmer back in fall for a job that we did, and he talked about the same struggles. He said that's all he has. He's like, the young kids, the young American kids that are coming in out of college, high school, whatever, that he's trying to get out, that they're not showing up. They're not showing up for work. And the farmers are the backbone of our country. So if they're struggling, I mean, what's that tell you?
Right. Well, right. But I think we also have to kind of wrestle with the idea that America wants immigration enforcement, right, while depending heavily on immigration labor. And I think that that's something that we have to look at. And again, is there a way to do it the right way? Yes. Not easy, I don't think. I think, for years there's been talk of how do we reform that. It's not to make it so anybody can slide through. That's not what we're looking for. But can you make it easier? And then at the same time, it sounds like, this is, I don't know, it's a little scary if you're a little, have a little more melanin and then you're working on a roofing crew and you got the right paperwork, Hello.
Plus, you're getting nice and tan in the summer. I might get out there and they might think
that's 100%. I just think
it's picking up Kevin.
It's kind of a hard thing to do. And I go, boy, for you guys trying to run the companies, it makes it more difficult.
Yeah.
Because, right? And now if you raise your prices, well, what does that do to you? And it's like someone's already, and if it is competition blowing each other, well, what the fuck are we doing here? Why are we going to do that when everybody, you've got your jobs?
Yeah.
You know, figure out what your business, focus on your business and stop trying to undercut somebody else's. It would be my thing. I think there's enough for everybody I just do. I think that, you know, you can
These
work
ones
enough.
blowing in other businesses, are they sliding in the next day and talking to the homeowner? Saying, hey, we'll do it for, you know, this.
Not that I've heard of and not that I've seen. So I cannot confirm nor deny that. But
That'd be kind of a dick move.
Well, I mean, I think also then there's the idea, are these employers cheating, right? Are they cheating the system a little bit, getting guys who are just vulnerable and going to work? And I don't think that that's true. I don't at all.
No,
I think that's a shitty thing to think that way.
I'm here today to tell you guys that that's not the case. And I see it a lot on Facebook. I see it a lot on social media. It's like, oh, you got these guys coming in, they're undercutting our guys and blah, blah, blah. I show me a company that's happening to, and I would pay to see that, okay? Because, again, there's not a group of kids lining up to do this stuff. We have tried hiring.
Yeah.
We put ads out. We put social media stuff out. We've gone to college. I mean, literally, like part of my job, I'm wearing 10 different hats. One of those hats is recruiting. Mm-hmm. I hate it, but it is what it is. I have to constantly be hiring. It's easier to hire sales guys. It's easy to hire, you know, someone to sit at the, you know, the desk and answer the phones and stuff like that. My wonderful wife does a great job at it, but soon that'll be gone. AI, right? That comes in. So the hardest thing to hire for in our industry right now is labor. And with the crackdown on immigration, and again, like I said, I'm not for or against it. I'm not here to get political, but it definitely makes things a little bit more difficult that there is, essentially when they get picked up, who do we have to replace them? That's the question. That's the toughest part right now to juggle with.
Yeah, but like you said, you had a guy who was picked up and let out.
He was picked up. This kid, like I said, he Ubered to a job from Brockport to Irondequoit when his truck broke down. I pulled up. I said, Johnny, how the hell did you get here? Where's your truck? He's like, truck broke down. I'm like, how'd you get here? He's like, well, I Ubered. I'm like, what? How much was the Uber? He's like, $85. I'm like, dude. He's like, I'll walk here if I have to. This kid did a whole house of siding, 27 square. For anyone knows anything about square footage in a house, this is a good size colonial, okay? And stone facade.
And a stone facade.
Stone facade all over the front porch. He did soffit, fascia, everything. Wrapped up all the windows in LP Smart Side trim. LP Smart Side is very heavy duty, heavy. It's good stuff. Yeah. It's very good stuff. So he did a fantastic job. Homeowners loved him. He did this thing within a week by himself because the other guys I had lined up with him were bailing on him. He did it by himself. He showed up every day. He was a huge asset to our company. One day, gone. And I'm like, how? Because I knew he had his visa. I knew everything was legit because I want him as a full-time employee. That's the guy I want on my team. 1 month later, no explanation. They come in, boom, you're gone. We still can't figure out what happened, why this was. Maybe they were vetting him. Maybe they were looking for someone else. We're not sure. But just the other day, he got let out. They're like, yeah, you're good to go. Called me 3 times. I'm like, dude, why is this number calling me? I call it back, and I'm like, Johnny? He's like, yeah, boss. I'm like, you're out? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how? I don't know. They said, you're free to go. That's it.
And no one explained anything.
Nothing. No sponsor, nothing.
Yeah, see that?
That's where we're confused.
This is my point. Is like that. I get that there's many people who are make these things real political. Like all of us, you're either with me or against me.
Yes, it's black or white, right?
But that's not what we're saying.
No.
It's saying this is the system. We're trying to work within it. Yeah. We're told that these guys can work here if they have this paperwork. But you guys are coming in and scooping up everybody without any regard for that. Then you tell us whether they got the paperwork. And sometimes it takes you days to figure that out, weeks, month, right?
Yeah.
And that's all we're saying.
Yeah.
Is like that has to be a better. Can there be a better system within the system that exists?
There's
right.
Yeah, where's the fine line and where's the perfect answer? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
You know what? Again, I'm not law enforcement. I'm not ICE. They're doing a great job. They have a very difficult job.
Of course they do.
I would not want that job.
No, you want to run into someone's house and fucking especially somebody who pull guys off roofs. I don't think they want to do that.
No, I don't think they want to either. I don't think that's what they have in mind.
I think for some of these guys, it was like money, maybe they were, no, I don't know, out of law enforcement, whatever their background, or out of the military looking for, I have no idea. Either way, the system being what the system is, not judging that. Just, can we get that system to work better because it's working against us?
Yeah, I would say at this point, especially in two main fields, construction, and that applies to landscaping too. You ever see some of the landscaping jobs? They're all migrants, man.
Yeah.
They ain't 16-year-old kids. Like, I was doing landscaping when I was 16 in between summers. I hated it. I mean, I got a nice tan, but
I did too. I fell asleep I was at somebody's house and I fell asleep and then I got in trouble.
Yeah,
took a nap under a tree on a little peninsula down in a pond that was off the property a little bit.
We've all been there, man.
Yeah.
What you got to do is you got to keep your roofers, when the ice shows up, keep them on the roof. Tell ice to come up and get them. And then whoever can walk that roof,
I know, but see,
replace the guys they're taking with those ice agents.
Well, who wants to go up against the federal fucking government? And then I don't.
Yeah, but are they gonna climb up the ladder and pull them off the roof?
No, but I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I hear you and I get what you're saying, but I would also be like, why am I going to make this even worse now? Hey, go fucking get them then.
Well,
hey, you might be able to hire a guy or two that can walk a roof.
Well, that's true.
They can't stay up there forever, and all ICE has to do is, quote unquote, leave the area and hang out down the road. And as soon as they see that van coming down with the ladder rack on it,
as long as the job's done,
the job's usually the roof is dried. And so that's always our biggest fear, right? And like I said, we do a very good job here at vetting our guys. All my buddies in the industry, they do a very good job at vetting their guys. But at the end of the day, I mean, when the American roofers show up to your house, we talk about breaking into the country illegally, right? We talk about illegal immigrant. We talk about all the stuff, right? Like, well, we don't want them at our property. Do you honestly believe that the American roofers that are showing up to your house don't have a history of doing anything wrong?
Oh.
They don't have a misdemeanor. They don't have a drinking or drug problem. I mean, again, it's a tough industry. We're not dealing with choir boys here.
Right. That's a very, very fair thing to say, and the only part that still has me a little baffled is why the scoop up of everybody who looks like they may be illegal, only to find out later on they're not. Why weren't we finding out? Why aren't you sort of rewarding the guy that did it the right way and go, hey man, keep working, good on you, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure that out, but I can see what that problem is for you. I can totally see that. I can see for the consumer. I can see the cost analysis of it all too. As things get backed up and get more expensive, not just in terms of the pricing of things, but the pricing of labor.
Yeah, and like I said, that's our biggest question too. So when I showed up the other day, because I got a message from that phone saying, "Hey, my brother and sister were taken," I'm like, "Okay, I'm on my way. I had to get the material, so I'm heading out there now." I got there. And there was a young girl there. She had to be maybe late teens, and she was sitting there by herself. And I'm trying to communicate with her, and she's Google translating, and
That's awesome.
She didn't speak any English, but nice chick, stared by herself. And I went to call the dude's phone, and the phone next to me started ringing. And I look over, and I'm like, "Oh, you have his phone?" She's like, "Yes." I'm like, "He got taken too." She showed me the video. She had it on video of them taking him away. I'm like, so wait a minute. I was under the impression that the brother and sister got taken. The whole crew, I'm like, everyone's gone, all 7 people. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh man. Okay. Well, this isn't interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then, again, it's luckily, like I said, I don't want to say luckily, but homeowners have seen this enough over the last 2 years where they have a pretty good understanding that, hey, it's not just us, right? This is the first time it's happened to us in the last couple of years. I mean, this has never happened before. So I would consider ourselves pretty lucky. I would consider ourselves obviously doing the right thing, within our control. But, it's embarrassing. It's not a good look. It's a tough conversation to have because we got a house to decide, man.
Yeah.
And I got 10 other people that think they're going tomorrow that, we're scrambling. I mean, it makes things very, very difficult. Right. And again, I cannot just pull some random people and stick them out on a job. So I have to work within my means of the guys that I have vetted, the guys that are on my team and that I trust to go out there. And we just don't have enough.
So then you don't want to be the guy that's not following the law. And I don't know if this is true or not, but it sounds like we almost have New York State and the federal government making things a little difficult in the way, because there's like fair labor laws that you have to comply with that are state laws, right? And then you're getting whatever the hours are, the breaks, the insurance, all these things. And then the federal law will say, well, they got to have this paperwork and blah, blah, blah. And so now, and I don't know, is New York State still considered a sanctuary state for people to come and try to start a life? I don't even know. So now if you get somebody here and they hand you a document that somebody made on AI, how do I know?
It's a good question.
You know, I mean, the thing is like that's the hard part. And so maybe that's what they're looking for, but then all that, well, how do we fix it? And what do we do for the guy that did do it the right way, who still gets scooped up? That to me is welcome to America. That's shitty. And on the other side, it hurts the economy.
You know, and again, like I said, I'm all for obviously following the rules and whatnot. I think that the process could be, from what I'm hearing, I'm not, for the record, I'm not a part of the government. I have no idea what their process looks like. But from what I see in here, we work very closely with a gutter company that has an immigrant on their team. He's from Jamaica. He's had his green card. He's renewed it. He's gone through the whole process over and over and over for the last 8 or 9 years.
Right.
He's legal to be here. He's still not a citizen.
Yeah. No.
9 years. I mean, at some point you got to say, okay, like, I'm not them. I don't know what paperwork they have. I don't know if they have lack of help. But at some point you got to think, hey, how do we speed this process up a little bit? So the people that are here working, that are contributing, that are showing up at 6 o'clock in the morning, doing things that the average American is not doing anymore, how do we keep them here? How do we help the economy? And how do we help our fellow workers, our contractors, our farmers, whoever it may be that's in help, that needs help.
Right.
How do we speed that up? I think that's the question that we're all wondering.
Yeah, and that's a great way to kind of wrap it. Yeah. I think that's a really good.
See if you want to take a break. I got a game.
What do you mean you got a game?
I got a game. Ice or nice?
Oh.
I'm afraid of this game.
No, it's a good game.
Throw me out. Throw me. What? How does it work?
I'm going to give you the actor or actress. You tell me if they were born in America or if they were born in Mexico.
Oh,
ice or nice?
Ice or nice?
I don't do well at trivia, Mo Connery's, Kevin. You see me there. I don't win like you do, so I may not.
He's uncomfortable.
You'll figure it out.
He's uncomfortable.
It's a 50-50 shot.
Don't lose this game. We won't play here, but we will play it. We have to play it.
I just wrote it 5 minutes ago.
I was wondering what you were doing over there.
Thought about it. I'm like, I should write a game here.
That's actually really fun. Throw me one. I just want to see if I would get it right or not. Just
Selma Hayek.
Well, Selma Hayek, we know is
she American born or Mexican born?
Well, that's a great question because I don't know.
Egyptian, isn't she?
Selma Hayek.
She's Mexican.
No, she's Mexican.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she is. But I know she talks about her family. I think she's Mexican born.
She is Mexican born.
Yeah.
Another one?
Yeah, Antonio Banderas.
Danny Trejo.
Oh, Danny Trejo's American.
You would have done well at this game.
Yeah,
tonight.
Danny Trejo did time. Like, he's the guy with all the pockmarked face and long hair, and he really does look almost ominous, and like he always is like a gangster or something. But then there are some movies where he's like the lovable character, which I think is great because it's such a contrast. But I think he was. I don't know when Alcatraz closed, but I think he did time. I don't want to say somewhere there, but a maximum security prison for a while. I thought.
I believe you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
That's it. I mean, it's interesting, right? It's funny because we look at these things. There are people I knew who had the right paperwork. They lived, heard of. I didn't know them. Let me rephrase that. But they lived right on the border of like California, and they would come over and clean houses. But they would get so mad at the people that didn't get the right paperwork. Like, they would be very upset with those people because they tried to do it the right way. And it sounds like some of the guys doing it are trying to do it the right way. Like that young man trying to do it the right way.
Yeah.
If they keep deporting them out, how the hell are we going to move? Who hasn't had a Mexican moving crew? You get 3 guys on a Mexican moving, they will clear out a 4-bedroom house in 45 minutes.
Oh, I believe it.
In one truck.
Yeah.
And the smallest guy sits on top, holds that shit down. And the 2 grandmas come in and clean up right afterwards.
Oh, God. All right.
I want to say one more thing, too.
Yes,
because we have talked about Ecuadorians, Mexicans, and, that whole kind of want to say, not sure the word I'm looking for, like that whole genre, right? That whole, like, that whole
southern area.
Yeah. Yes, that whole
Latino.
Yes,
right. Yeah.
origin.
Yeah.
Sure. This is also happening with Ukrainians.
Really?
And Russians. Yes. So we had a gutter company that we partner with. We have our own gutter machine. We haven't gotten around to use it yet. Gotten pretty backed up. So we worked closely with that gutter company, and they had a Ukrainian on there who came over, had a visa for school. Don't know if it expired or what happened, but he's getting deported. So it's not just one specific group of people. It's like wide variety of immigrants. From
I think it's I'm glad you said that, because I think there's an element where people go, well, it's a whole brown crew, so therefore they've got to be illegal. But the Ukrainians, no, and Russians most likely no. Yeah. And so to make it that it's really an immigration issue as a whole, that you're seeing in an industry that is, at least around here, really needed. I mean, how many times you drive past and you see a gutter hanging off, and you know what that can lead to and how it can seep under, the I word. Future client.
the ice word. And I'm not talking about the people that are going in on jobs now. I'm talking about
ice
what we
dams
get
and all
in
this.
December, January, February.
You get those 8-degree days, right? That's your high for the day. It's 8 degrees. Nothing's thawing.
Yeah.
And then when it does, it's already made such a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, we obviously had a rough winter, so there's a lot of work this year, which is great for the industry. The problem is, like I said, is the lack of help. But we are seeing it with Ukrainian workers too, specifically. I don't know what it is about Ukrainian workers, Slavic, the whole origin there. There is a lot of them, specifically in masonry and some of the other trades that we're hearing that are getting shipped back to. A few that we know, pretty tight. There's a roofing crew in particular that we met, that we started working with, wanted to bring them on, didn't end up getting there, but my buddy ended up using them, and so they were great. They did great work, they good cleanup, they have their own equipment. They were good, but same scenario. Right. I'm like, what? They're not legal? He goes, apparently not. Like, you're kidding.
But you don't know.
You don't know.
Right.
You have no idea.
You don't know. Right.
So you get that piece of paper that says, hey, here's my insurance, here's my number, here's my comp, here's everything, and like, dude, this is what more? I don't need anything as a business owner. I don't need anything more. Right. This is it. Yeah. This tells me you're good. Yeah. So. Oof. Yeah, I know.
And if you're ready to go, you want a roof, you want a side, reach out to me. I'll get you in contact with Norm. Call us 585-208-8866.
206-8866.
We'll get you in contact with Norm.
Yeah.
He's always looking for people.
Yeah.
Always.
Sell your company real quick. What's the name? Number?
Oh, Freedom Roofing and Windows, 585-698-6914. Kevin, I thought when you said sell your company, I thought you were saying put up a number. I was like, hey, no problem. Who wants it?
Hey, if you want to buy it too, he's always looking to sell.
We're all, times like these.
That sounds fun.
Contemplate when we go.
I really appreciate you coming in and talking about it.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Because I think it's something that is out there, right? And we see it. And I think people have real strong opinions about it on both sides. But to look at it more from an economic standpoint and what it's doing to guys who are trying to run businesses, it's a somewhat of a different look. And it sounds like the system within the system needs a little revamping.
Yeah, and again, I'm not them, so I'm not going to tell them how to do their jobs. I think, by the way, they're doing a fantastic job. I think there's obviously, along with anything else, tweaks. That's just our opinion. But obviously, the immigration thing's one of two major topics that is heavily controversial and discussed in this industry. The second one, if you guys ever have time, is private equity.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, so it's interesting.
A little scary, as you get into all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right, for Coach Norm. For Kevin with it, I would have been
Ice or nice, baby.
I think we have to throw that out again sometime. Ice or nice.
Play that for the music game instead of an Elvio. Play Ice or nice with our favorite immigrant Elvio.
Well, his parents were. He was born. I think he was born here. Hockey already, huh?
Oh, I love it.
You're coaching already.
I love it. I would have started a month sooner if everyone else was on board. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And when does this season end?
Oh, God. It feels like it goes 14 months out of the year. I mean, it feels like it never ends. It feels like we just...
When we send ice in to pick him, when we send the referees in to pick him up.
Oh, my God.
Season's over. Referees picked him up.
Next spring. So we just... our biggest hurdle now is getting people to get in early to, dry land off ice stuff. I bust Kevin's chops a lot on getting his kid there, so hopefully we see him next week. And get the kids out there, get them in shape early. Oh, I'm sure you are. I can't even imagine what the excuse will be. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited. I look forward to it. I wish it could be my career job. I have a blast.
Yeah,
I love being out there. Yeah,
well,
it's great.
Well, maybe we should look into that. It might be a little easier.
Hey, when he said sell your company, I said okay. Yeah, well,
they deport Canadians too.
I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you next time.